Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Show Me the Market, and my name is AbdulRahman Gaddafi Yassin. Today our destination is at Fayaz Bakery along Lusaka Road. Join me as we get to learn more about this baking industry. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is AbdulRahman Gaddafi Yassin, and this is Show Me the Market. Today I'm hanging around with the people who came up with Fayaz Bakery. He's going to tell us more about the business and all the gisty and tasty things that you can find here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, my brother?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for sparing your time.
Thank you very
so
much.
that we can have this interview.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
Okay, maybe you can introduce yourself so that audience can know you better.
So my name is Umeir Mohammed. I'm the manager here at Fayaz Bakers Nairobi. We are handling. We currently have around 3 shops, and we are also supplying to supermarkets as well. The local supermarkets we have here in Kenya, within Kenya. Yeah, so those that are in Nairobi and those that are up country and those that are in coast as well, all of them.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Maybe if we can start by the name Fayaz, maybe our viewer back at home might be asking, Fayaz Bakery, it's a big name and household name.
Yes.
I know majority people from Mombasa side, they know it better more than the people in Nairobi.
Yes.
Where did the name derive from?
So our company started in 1911. That was a long time ago.
Long time.
Before even the First World War. So actually, how we started was my great-grandfather, the first generation, the founder, he started the company by supplying bread to the armies. Yeah.
By that time, the soldiers.
The soldiers, yeah. The British, the Portuguese that were here, and all of those people. Yeah, and from there we went. We were supplying bread to mostly the army bases for the First World War, the Second World War, till around early 1970s. That is when we started with the confectionery side, the cookies and the cakes. Yes. So firstly, the company was called Mohammed and Bakers, but because Mohammed and Bakers was not actually fit for our packaging, because we don't want our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his name was Muhammad. Yeah, so we didn't want people to throw the wrappers around and have Muhammad stuck on the package and people come and step. So when my cousin, the current CEO of our company, Mr. Fayaz Muhammad, when he was born, I believe that is when the name came up, Fayaz Bakers.
MashaAllah. And maybe we speak about you're new in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Which you find majority of people still, they don't realize that Fayaz is existing in Nairobi. Maybe the motivational factor behind you people moving from Mombasa, coming to Nairobi, what was it all about?
So actually, when I was working in Mombasa as well, we had a lot of customers during the Christmas time that were coming from this side of the country, like the upper country, and whenever they used to come for their holidays in Coast, they used to stop by our shop, Fayaz Bakers. They used to like it, so we had many customers along the years that are telling us, why don't you open to Nairobi? Why don't you come to Nairobi? You need to open shops here. So after several thinking, after several years, we decided to take the step and pull up our socks and come to Nairobi.
And maybe here in Nairobi, where are you people located? Do you have other branches apart from the one which you are here today, or which are the other places which people can find you guys?
Yes, so we have around 3 retail outlets here in Nairobi. There is one along Lusaka Road, one at South B, and one along Moy Avenue in town.
Speaking about the people who are coming to Mombasa, they used to enjoy and love the taste of the product that you people are providing. Maybe if you can mention to our audience, what do you people provide for people?
from the word Fayaz Bakers, anyone can know what we are doing. So, but mostly we are known for our cookies and cakes. We do cakes, cookies, and bread, but we are mostly known for our cakes and cookies because I think that is how the word spread it to everyone.
MashaAllah. And maybe how long does it take to bake a cake or a cookies?
Okay, from scratch, the mixing part takes around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Then the baking part takes around 18 minutes to be precise. Then we have the packaging part. The packaging is the most lengthiest procedure of the whole cookie preparation. So the main part is that packing the cookies, you know, it is manual packing. So we have people who are armed properly, like with gloves and hairnets and all that, and they pack the cookies. So it is time consuming because each packet has to have 200 grams.
200 grams?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
So sometimes it exceeds to 205 grams, but we never let it go beyond below 200 grams. We rather let it be.
You can say that's a sadaqah.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. And maybe what makes you people unique from other brands that we can see outside here?
So what I'll say is our packaging of cookies. Our packaging of cookies is, as you can see, it looks amazing. It looks world class. It looks world class, to be honest. Yes. and you know, the main thing is the packaging that sells. For example, if you have something like this stock up in Naivas, you'll ask yourself, okay, Fayaz, what is Fayaz? But because of the cookie, you don't even know, and the price is very pocket friendly. The price is like, right now the retail price is 150.
Like the one you're holding now? It's
the one I'm holding is 150 shillings.
Okay.
So this is very pocket friendly.
And inside it got how many pieces?
So because of the way this cookie is cut, around 12 pieces, because every packet has its own cutting, like the size of the cookie is very different. Like for example, the Nankatai one, this has 12 pieces, this has 22 pieces to 25 pieces, because of the size of the cookie. The cookie is quite small.
So it is good when you want to have your breakfast with it.
Yes, yes, tea time and everything.
Chaya
sakum.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what majorly makes you people unique.
Yeah.
And maybe how do you make sure that you stay ahead in competition? Umeir, this is such a wonderful thing that you guys are doing, you know. Yes. And maybe in terms of investment, it comes with time and so much more. Yes. What does it take for one to have such?
Okay, for this, you cannot kick off right away. For something like this, you must have experience in actually what you're doing. You cannot just come, you are selling phones and phone covers, then one day you wake up, you say, watch and use cookies, mimi. It does not work like that. This one needs a lot of time, needs a lot of thinking, how you're going to package your product, who you're going to sell it to, where are you going to cook your cookies. All these are questions you should ask yourself before entering the market. And you should also, for a new investor wanting to come into the food industry, they must make sure what the competitors are doing. For you to be successful in no time, there's no success in 1 year, but I'm saying like to save a lot of years of wasting, it is good that you plan before even kicking off the idea of starting a bakery or any restaurant.
Mm-hmm. So it needs a lot of research.
It needs a lot of research. It needs a lot of research, and these things are not cheap. To make a packet, okay, the packet right now has gone up, but you know, this, before it is printed, it is a clear packet.
Okay, transparent.
It is transparent before it is branded. Okay. So what happens is you need to buy the cylinders for the packet, and that is very, very costly, very costly. It goes up to like 2 million. Yeah, so if we have around 11 types, so you can imagine how much we have spent on just the cylinders for branding.
Just for branding
Yes.
and packaging.
Yes.
And maybe where do you source your products? Mentioning that you have to buy such cylinders, where do you source your product?
So everything is done in Kenya. So as you can see, the packet itself is written "Buy Kenya, Build Kenya." So everything about this cookie is done in Kenya, from the packaging to the raw materials to the laborers to even the customers. Everything is Kenya.
Even the
customers
majority
are
are Kenyan.
Yeah. We don't sell these packets outside, although we have many people that are outside Kenya and who have lived in Kenya. They normally come, whenever they come to Kenya to meet their family, Nini, they must go with at least a hamper of cookies back to where they came from. For example, if someone lives in London or the UK, so whenever they come here for the holiday, they must take a hamper.
A hamper, at least so that you can spread the love, the sweetness to the other people.
Yes, to a
from the
different
other
continent.
side. MashaAllah, that's
Yeah.
so cool. And maybe how do you make sure you stay ahead in competition compared with the other brands outside here?
So I'm going to mention the packaging also, and I'm also going to mention the quality of the cookie. For example, me when I go come field squeezy, I want to see what my competitors are doing. So what I will do is I will actually go to the competitor and I will buy goods from him. I'll buy the cookies, I'll buy the cake, then I'll eat it. I'll have a seat and I'll eat it, and I'll compare it with what we are doing here in Fayaz, and I'll be like, okay, is this good? Is it better than what we are doing? If it's better, then how can we improve on our quality to become better than them? Yes.
You know, business is competition.
Then I hear Kenya say, Kenya, man, things are becoming tougher and tougher.
And some people have a notion that when you are selling foodstuffs, you cannot go wrong with food. What's your take on that?
Okay, you cannot go wrong with food, and if you cannot go wrong if you have the product the customers want. You get me? You cannot come here and make me a Subway, for example. We've all heard of Subway. Subway is so it's basically a sandwich, but it didn't work in the Kenyan market because it was us Kenyans. We are like, sandwich ni mkate, iko na feeling ya whatever it is. You cannot charge me 800 shillings for a sandwich.
Yes.
So even though Subway is an international brand, it didn't work out here in Kenya. Although we have a few branches here in Nairobi, but it didn't work out in the local market here because of the prices and so on. Yeah.
MashaAllah. And maybe someone might be asking, okay, they sell good stuffs, good explanations.
Yeah.
Maybe your working hours, your work from, at what time do you guys open, at what time do you close?
So basically, we work under a 12-hour period. So our shops are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. so that we target people having breakfast, because that's what we do. You don't want to sell this lunchtime.
Yes.
You want to sell it in the morning and at 5 p.m. as well. You get me? Yeah. So we're open from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening.
And maybe let us speak to the aspect whereby Fayaz coming to Nairobi, it was in 2020 at the COVID-19 period. It was hard time for many business people around Nairobi or anyone doing business that time across the world. What was your take that time? Did you people learn something different from what you've been doing since independence? Remember you told us you started
in 1911.
those days, eh?
Yeah.
Is there anything new that maybe you people learned? And I think at that juncture, we can take a short break. When we come back, he's going to tell us more on the challenges that these people face into this business. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Sweet conversation, like the way you can see sweet things around here. Yes, Umeir, karibu tena.
Asante sana.
I was asking question regarding to the times of COVID-19. When the COVID-19 was there, everything went south. Like the
Yes.
way other people mention it. Like, what is that one thing that you can say you learned out of that hard time?
From COVID, there were a lot of things to learn from. Actually, prior to COVID, we were doing minimum deliveries. Like those that are like, someone calls and says, we want product A, B, C, D delivered to this location. Well, those kind of things were not there. The whole world was different before COVID started. And after COVID, the post-COVID knowledge we've gotten was that, okay, you can even make sales outside. Like you can do a lot of deliveries to the outside people that want your product but cannot come to your shop. Yeah. So for example, here in Nairobi, so you're living in Kilimani and you want to you are craving for Fayaz cookies.
Yes.
Then what do? Then you're forced to go to the food channels like Glovo and Uber Eats, because we are in those apps as well. So you can order cookies online and be delivered on your doorstep. So that is one of the main thing we learned, was we should focus more on the delivery part.
Okay, maybe there is that one thing that maybe you people started doing it at the hard times of the COVID-19. Maybe what can you mention that you people still implement?
So actually, you know what, I can talk about the Corona period. How we managed to get through that period was quite tricky, but thank God, Alhamdulillah, we tried to overcome the situation, because if you know that a very high percentage, almost 70% of our wheat that we consume in Kenya comes from Ukraine. So we had the Corona. When Corona came, there was a lot of curfews everywhere and a lot of restrictions in years, lockdowns and all that. So what happened is the wheat prices went above the roof. Yeah, so because at that time kama meli ilikuwa inakuja like once a month. During that time it used to come once in 3 months, so the prices went up. So those how we managed to get through all this was, the demand was still there and the supply went down because of many mini bakers, the home bakers that were baking from home were forced to close down because of the incline in the prices. So that is where we tumepenya kidogo hivi tukapita hapo, because demand ilikuwa pale, but the supply from other people was not there, so we had to tukaingia hapo chap. Now we tried to satisfy the demand.
Maybe let us speak about the investment factor. You need a lot of staffs to have this beautiful investment.
Yes.
Maybe what is it needed so that we have such?
So for you to have a bakery, I'll tell you one. You as an individual have to become a baker first. You become a baker, you become a mixer, you are the oven man, you are the packer, and you are the selling person. So you are all four. Before you even go to having an outlet, you bake from home. That is what I'll advise you, because to jump off to an investment like this needs a lot of money and a lot of capital. Yeah, so buying a mixer, buying a 4-deck oven or even 2-deck oven, and then you get space, then you hire a mixer, you hire an oven man, then you get the recipe correct. You get me? So there are a lot of challenges in food industry, especially the bakery. You should also consider that hii ni kitu ambaye is going to expire in like 5-6 days or 1 week or even 1 month. So what are you going to do after the product itself has expired and you've not sold? So there's the loss factor there. You need to, I'll tell you, there's a lot of planning that needs to happen before coming up with a bakery that can even qualify to serve almost 500 people. 500 people is 500 loaves of bread. I'll tell you one thing. We do around right now our minimum mix of loaf is we get around 144 pieces of bread. Yeah. So imagine for you to have for you to serve 500 people, you need to have around 5 mixes of bread. 5 mixes of bread is not easy.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. for a newcomer, Abezi.
I mean, it's not a walk in the park.
It is not a walk in the park. Yes.
Mashallah. And maybe apart from Fayaz, do you have other branches, or do you have something that is complementing Fayaz?
Yes. Actually, when we talk about Corona, what we did during Corona period was we branched out to another food market, another line of the same food industry, which is crispy kuku. Crispy kuku is basically fast food. Like we deal in chips and chicken, what the likes of KFC and Chicken Inn and all that. So we fried chicken and some fries. Yeah. So that idea came up, I think it was the time of Corona. Why we started Crispy Kuku was we found this line of Nini is untouched. For example, you see this Crispy Kuku, we started in Mombasa. Actually, the whole company, the main thing imeanza Mombasa. Yeah. So because there was no another chain that was focused on the chips and chicken line. So we found a Nini.
Find that gap?
Yeah, we found that gap and we made sure we had to fill the gap.
Yes, maybe let us speak about some of the challenges that you've been facing, because I know it's not rosy as most people think outside there, or someone who is watching right away. Yeah. Maybe the challenges that you people have been facing, and how do you tackle them?
Actually, to talk about challenges, the challenges we are facing from Corona period till right now, 3 years after Corona, we are still facing challenges. The hike of the raw materials. The raw materials have gone, the prices are unbearable right now. So we have problems with the prices in raw materials, the hike. Then we also, the second part is not necessarily a problem, but it is something that we are facing right now. So as you know, this company was started in Mombasa. All this time it has been in Mombasa. So watu wa Mombasa wanajua Fayaz ni nini. So but when we come here, this is a land where no one knows what Fayaz is. When you tell someone, oh, you can chukule cookies Fayaz, Jama is like, Fayaz? What is Fayaz? So yeah. So the challenges of that is the other part of the challenge we are facing right now currently with our shops as well. Yeah.
And maybe for young entrepreneurs who maybe they think, if I want to start a business, I can just wake up today, I do it, I give it a month, and boom, I'm top. I'm going to be at the top notch. What can you tell them? You being into this industry for that
I wish it was like that. But what we are taught in school, you go, you study, you have a degree, then you're going to start up, it's not like that. Life has different plans for everyone. So for an entrepreneur to wake up one day and to say, wacha nianze ABCD, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. Because for you to start anything, hata kama ni kuuza mahindi ya kuchoma, you are going to ask yourself, where am I going to sell? Where am I going to buy? Yeah, how nikishikwa na kanjo alafu Ushaona, these are things that everyone needs to think about before starting anything in the food. I would say something like the best industry to work in right now as a young entrepreneur is in the food industry. You see, you try to make something and you try to sell it off to people, because it is something. Food is something that people take on a daily basis. So if I don't take cookies, maybe you like cookies. You get me? If you don't like maybe
cookies, someone is taking bread or cake.
Bread, yeah, you get me. So by the way, another thing is you need to give options to people. Okay, mimi nimekuja Fayaz. Kuna cookies aina ngapi? What else do Fayaz have? We have cakes, we have cookies, we have meat pies, we have samosas, we have bread. Yeah, you see, so we have a variety. Yeah, we have almost 60 products.
Products that you
yes.
Mashallah, and that's good. And maybe when can you say that this time is long enough for me to wait for my business to mature, to become that?
So I will say something like, there is no given period of time. You can wait for 1 year, you struck, you're a millionaire. You can wait for 10 years, 20 years. So success has no given timings. It is not limited. Success is not limited to a certain period of time. You get me? For you to be successful, you need to persevere and you need to be persistent. You need to have that ambition itself. Okay, if it didn't work today, it's going to work tomorrow. You need to be very optimistic. For example, myself, my father always tells me, young man, you need to be optimistic, because the problems I face here, then I talk to my father. My father is in Mombasa. So I talk to him, my father, I tell him my problems, but he always tells me, be optimistic.
And that will help you to
Yes, and Alhamdulillah, regardless of the challenges, I have always stayed to be optimistic. Yeah.
You being optimistic, you being the manager of Fayaz Nairobi, is someone born to become an entrepreneur, or you have to learn so that you become an entrepreneur?
I think what I have to say is you don't need a college degree or a university degree for you to become successful in life. If you're going to pursue it, well and good. If you want to become a doctor, you cannot become a doctor at EV. You must study. But for you to become an entrepreneur, a businessman, it's not necessarily about what you study. You get me? For example, if I talk about myself, I went to Canada for my studies of engineering.
So I'm sitting here with an engineer. But now you're doing the...
Right now I'm a baker.
So you are applying the engineering
No. Imagine when I went to study engineering, after the first year I had to quit. Yeah, I had to quit. Then I told my father, say bana, no. I want to stick with the family business. So I am who I am because of my father. My father has trained me. Yani mimi ni mimi because of my father. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, my father has been very supportive of me. I love him a lot, man. Yeah, so you see, talking about the degree and how it's related to success, I wouldn't say it is related to success. A degree is not related to success. You get me? Because me, I'm not even a diploma holder. Unanielewa? And Alhamdulillah, I'm here, I'm managing like 3 shops, and we're doing like over 100 supermarkets, Naivas, Quick Mart, Chandarana, you see, you get me? Yeah.
Maisha ni kujipanga.
Maisha ni kujipanga bana. You have to, lakini I will say something to add on, you must learn, you must read on a daily basis. You cannot just stop learning and you think that you're going to make it. It is impossible. For mimi nasoma vitabu. Alhamdulillah, I try to read books, I try to look at the market with an open mind. Okay, so and so is doing this, so and so is doing this. So is there a gap in between where I can conquer? Okay, there is. I try to conquer, and that is actually the best way to be successful in these days. You get me? You need to look for a gap that is that needs to be what is it called? That needs to be
filled.
To be filled, exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think amemaliza. Yes, we don't have much more to add there because Umeir has added the spice, told you all the hard times and the good times that they have been facing as the company, and I think you've learned much out of his narration and out of the business and the story. At that point, I don't have to add anything. What I need is just to have some bites. Then we can see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.